I keep getting reelected. They know I fight for them, you know. And we have some staring issues. We can't. Let me tell you something about this young man, Montravius King. Before Montravius, Councilman King, got on council, I've been fighting for years of trying to get someone young on council. You know why? Because we are old folks. He don't view, his world view is different from what ours is. We don't have to go out and ask young people what they need in Elizabeth City. We have him and Councilman Horton. They're right here. We can ask them. You know, and we talk about we're disappointed in him. That young man have proven to me that I'm about to ask for his autograph. If we can get 3 more up here, I will have no problem leaving council. And I really mean that. You can find 2 more Councilman King and Horton. I will leave council. You don't have to write about me in the book. Go. You know, I don't. It's kind of heartbreaking when we have adults that should be trying to give him direction. Mr.
We need to have some quiet.
Yeah, when you have adults come up here and bashing a young council member because they didn't come up in their generation. We can't do that. We have to stop that foolishness. And I would tell council people, because I've done it myself. Before I got on council, I used to do it myself. I get up there and I'm going to tell council a piece of my mind. But never, because they look kind of strange, and never come to the council and tell us everything we're doing wrong without any solutions. If you give a solution, then it was very, very effective. You know, I learned that the hard way. I hope you have too. I listened to the comments of everybody. I listened very attentively, and I wrote down some notes. I won't call the names, and you'll know what they said. And I didn't have an intention. I want to just glide on out this and said the meeting was over.
In the case of the employee was threatened, the personnel manual only applies to employees of the city. It doesn't apply to city council people. Mr. Olson advised the employee what his options were, and the employee took it upon himself to take the action he took. There's no violation of state law, no violation of federal law, no failure to follow federal law or state law, no violation of the charter, no violation of procedures and policies. I just want to make that clear because sometimes we like to make things fit our story. That's all I have to say.
Mr. Mayor, if a council make an incorrect statement, I'm reading right out of the policy.
Go ahead, bro.
Because he addressed what I said. That's why the council make a comment, somebody should call it. Read it. Will you read it for it then on page 79 of the personnel policy manual?
Well, I know it says, it talks about that the city manager can investigate a wrongdoing by
It doesn't say
employees
that.
and the public.
It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that.
He know what it said.
I mean, because he made a wrong statement concerning I've been pretty good with this thing tonight, but I understand anything. But when he made an incorrect statement, and I can read it right to the
That's
public,
right, he believe it.
I can read it right to the public. You tell me you can let that wrong statement be on there? Okay.
He right there, he'll stand back.
I want you to correct it, Culver.
All right, Brooks, speak up for yourself.
It says right here. That's right.
Speak up for yourself.
Read it to him.
Sorry, go ahead.
Speak up for yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I want to say greetings to each of you that have came out tonight. You certainly can tell when a hornet's nest has been stirred up.
Right.
And we're glad to see each and every one of you. We ask that you will continue to come as many different faiths will celebrate Holy Week. I encourage you to attend the church of your choice this week as we celebrate Holy Week, especially the waterfront service on Sunday. I did attend the funeral of Miss Diane. We ask that you will continue to, our former clerk, we ask that you will continue to keep her family in prayer. And it's good to see Ms. Hummer back. I want to just say that, and I said I wasn't going to say this, but I think we need to put things out in the open. As I read the newspaper and I keep hearing all this controversy, I tried to answer her name because I was going to put her on blast tonight. She told me, y'all black folks better get ready to be at the meeting Monday night, because us white folks are coming. And that just lets us know during the debate, during election season, the question was asked, does racism still exist? Yes, it does. And we need persons that are willing to take a stand. If you don't stand for something, you don't fall for anything. And I just want to say, you know, sometimes when you mess with one of the good old boys, someone who's done you favors, people will begin to criticize and complain. People got up tonight making all kinds of allegations. But as Darius James Horton, I make a decision based upon what I hear my constituents say, the residents of our Lord. I look at Pete Gilbert tonight, and Montravius shouldn't always have to, Councilman King shouldn't always have to speak up for himself. Somebody else should speak up for him. This man came up here tonight, and he admitted that Councilman King reached out to him and asked him to have a meeting so he could hear his concerns. But yet he wouldn't do that, but he had the audacity to come in council chambers, get up and throw stones at the man, and then leave. That tells me he really doesn't have the problem, he just wants to make a whole lot of noise.
That's right.
And if I'm wrong, I ask the Lord to forgive me. I
Go
want to let
ahead.
him know, because I know he went home to watch this on TV. I want to let him know he is a disgrace to the 4th Ward, and he should be reprimanded for his actions. And I just want to say I'm tired. I am here to make decisions what I feel is in the best interest of the city. And there's an old song, as a seminarian, there's an old song that says, I shall not be moved.
All right now.
I'm just like a tree planted by the river. I shall not be moved. It's time out for playing games.
That's right.
And if we make decisions, you don't need to write an article in the paper or go online and make comments. You don't even need to come here. Sometimes you need to pick up the phone and call me. My number is 312-2883. Call me and we can talk, because I want to hear your concerns. But when you come and make comments in the paper and come up here when we can't address you back, I think that's a coward. We need people that are about moving the city forward. And that's all I'm going to say is I'm about moving the city forward. And I'm about doing it with a spirit of excellence. For that sister to come up here and say that she was homeless.
That's right.
She was homeless, didn't have nowhere to go. Years of her life ruined. And we want to sit back talking about, oh, y'all made the wrong decision. I think not. And that's all I have to say.
I like that.
Now I'm going to talk about something nice.
Well, that was nice.
I listened to all the people that came up here tonight and talked about what a beautiful place Elizabeth City is to live. What a friendly place, how welcome we make everybody feel. And that was especially touching for those who have chosen to live here. And it's true. And I wasn't going to talk about myself, but I will. When I had my unfortunate accident 5.5 weeks ago, you feel very vulnerable, but you know, stuff happens in life you have to live with and move on. But I may not have felt vulnerable because I was overwhelmed with phone calls, visits from some that I didn't even know, cards, beautiful flowers, and food, and prayers. And I'd like to thank everyone who helped me through all that, and there were many offers of personal assistance, which meant so much because I had injured both legs. But anyway, I love Elizabeth City and everybody in it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I want to thank the members of the public for coming here tonight. It's great to see you all. I thank you for staying until the end, because as you can see, the Daily Advance has to leave early so they can go ahead and report whatever they want to report.
That's right.
So I appreciate all of you for staying until the end so you can see for yourself. You don't have to pick up the paper tomorrow or the next day and read it, because you're right here for yourself.
That's right.
And you see and you hear everything. Believe me, they leave out stuff all the time. I want to thank our Mayor Pro Tem for coming back. It's great to see her in council chambers. I went to the hospital after class one day and went to go see her. And I think she's a strong lady. And I pray to God that I live old enough to be the age Miss Humphrey is. She's strong. I didn't mean that.
Thanks anyway.
I don't know. I could have said it better. But anyway, I also want to take the time to thank our chief of police in Buffalo and the chief on campus, John Manley, for ensuring the safety of our visitors. For those of you who don't know what's going on campus, we have things going on all the time. We had our Forever Memorable Experience Viking Fest 2014. And it was safe, no one got injured, no one got hurt, no one got raped. So really appreciative for the two chiefs for doing a great job ensuring the safety of our visitors in the city. And we really appreciate all of our visitors because they came and spent a lot of money in the city. So it was a good thing. To address the Black Progressive Middle Class statement, there was another statement that Daily Advance took out of context. And let me tell you about them. When I first got on council, I'm so excited, but I said, you know what, I'm going to be the best councilman I can be. And I still feel the same way. But I said that to say, I started writing statements. I wrote statements after every meeting. They never put any of my statements in the paper. None of them. Now, so I said, I'm just going to stop writing statements. I said it's better for me to put it down on paper, and that way when someone calls me and asks me about what I said, I can say, yeah, I did say it, it's right here on paper. But in this situation, they took my words out of context, took that one statement. I was talking about the university. I was talking about why it's a shame that the university doesn't have the support that it has. And I know you guys care about it, but at the same time, I look at similar HBCUs such as North Carolina Central and A&T, and I look at how strong their black middle class is. So there is some correlations between that and support for the university. That's what I was referring to. I wasn't trying to hold the city manager accountable for that. The city manager doesn't even know or understand what it's like to live in the black community. He has no idea. It's not that it's his fault. He just doesn't know. So of course, anybody that had common sense would have known that I would not make the motion to fire Rich based off of that. It's frivolous. I have friends all over this country who don't look like me. Friends in Chicago, friends in Maine, friends in Florida. They know this isn't me. So I was just like, for people to be careful what they read about the Daily Advance. The Daily Advance has a responsibility to be fair and balanced. Unfortunately, they are the only source of media in this city, and they're nasty. These erroneous reports that they put in the paper, they only call us when they want to, but half of the time they leave. They don't even call us and ask us how we feel. As Councilman Brooks stated, when we found out that the county dropped to a tier 1 county, they called everybody else but us.
That's right.
They didn't call us then because they already knew what we was going to say about it. They already knew we was going to put the correlation, we were going to tie the manager in with it. So they didn't call us. My thing is, the Daily Advance, at least be fair and balanced. Put both sides of the story in. They never do that. And also, they took the city workers completely out of the equation. Everybody's completely forgot about them. And I just wanted, and I know I'm taking a lot of time here, but I said I'm not going to deal with them. If they're going to deal dirty, and if they're not going to have good journalism, and if they're not going to be fair and balanced, I won't deal with them. We'll just have a nasty relationship. And I'll continue to do what I do, call my constituents and go to their house so they can hear it from their councilmen themselves. I serve about 4,000 people, so it's not that hard as it seems. My statement, I was going to give this to the Advance, but I'm not dealing with them anyway right now. They didn't endorse me anyway. They endorsed the status quo. This is my statement. On Monday, March 24th, 2014, I motioned and subsequently voted to terminate the contract of the city manager effective immediately. The need for an immediate change at the executive level of our city is no choice for any city council to make. But it is very clear to me that change is definitely needed, and for numerous reasons. Numerous reasons. I will not go into a lot of details because some matters are personnel related. However, I will say this. This city council should not tolerate the mistreatment of its city employees.
That's right.
They are the backbone of the city, and without them, the city cannot function. Ignoring the mistreatment of our city employees is the same as condoning it. Sadly, a lot is swept under the rug with the city because employees fear retaliation. I never met so many city employees that are afraid, white and black. They've spoken to me, so I know that there's a certain culture that's been built up over the years. People wondering why they're getting missed off for promotions. People wondering why they didn't get promoted when they have master's degrees. All this stuff going on in the city. Furthermore, no one man or woman is bigger than this city. And that includes the council and the city manager. I understand that the city manager is not the most people-friendly person in the world, but that does not give him an excuse to talk down to people.
That's right. Exactly.
I've had complaints even from Pelican Point. And I know that most of you have sense enough to know that the people that live at Pelican Point have some, and I know I'm talking a lot here, but I'm just saying that to say, this is not a black or white issue. This is a right and a wrong issue.
That's right.
And people can say whatever they want to say he's not all nice and fuzzy. Over a quarter of our population live at or below the poverty line. We don't need somebody who's walking around here on a high horse. Despite my motion, my colleagues voted 4-3 to retain the manager. Therefore, as a duly elected member of this body, I will continue to do all that I can do to work with my colleagues, the manager, community leaders, business leaders, and anyone else to move the city forward in a way that will benefit